everyone. This is from Austin. It's 8 p.m. in my time zone. Okay, let me see what in real-time classroom. We have Jessica, we have Ben, Vincent, and Jennifer. Okay. So we're going to continue our discussion about the Platform Sutra today. So this is the final chapter. So the title of the final chapter is Final Instructions. And we are looking forward to what Master Huineng is going to tell us in this chapter. Okay? And so it can be regarded as the application of Master Huineng's teaching. So it's like usually in a sutra, we have the beginning, the middle, the end, and the beginning is introducing why this sutra is taught, and then the middle is the main content of a sutra, while the last part is the application of the teaching in this sutra. So we want to know what is the final instructions in this Platform Sutra. So according to Venerable Master Xingyun's commentary on this chapter, he brings out what is mentioned in this chapter, which is the 36 pairs and the middle way. And if you look at the text, you will see the 36 pairs. It is nothing but the duality of right and wrong, wholesome and unwholesome, the short and long. So all the 36 pairs are the dual concept or phenomena in the world that we experience. And our master, Venerable Master Xingyun, says that dualities are not the absolute Dharma, which means that though we experience the dual world, but we have to know that this is not the absolute teaching of the Buddha. So what are the teaching? What are the absolute teaching of the Buddha? We have to know that dualities, they are inherently empty, meaning that there is no substantial intrinsic nature in all these phenomena. Okay? So when we see a person, just like what I show you on the slide, when we see this person, this man feel very depressed, maybe just finishing whole day's work and full of frustrations in his working experience that day. Okay, and the left-hand side of the picture is the same person, maybe early in the morning, and he is full of energy to face the challenge that day. Okay, or maybe this person that he has finished, completed all his work, and everything seems very successful. And so therefore, by the end of the day, this person is very happy. So you can interpret in all kinds of scenarios from just looking at these two pictures. And this shows us that the same person's experience in one day can be very contradictory to each other. And that also applies to the climate, the temperature, the phenomena of the natural world. If we can find the dual conditions of almost everything in the world, okay? But since this is not the absolute Dharma, so the absolute Dharma will teach us how to go beyond these phenomena that we see or that we experience with this five aggregates, physical, body, and mind. Okay, and so therefore, from the listing of the 36 pairs in this chapter, what Master Huinen wants to point out is that don't go to the extremes. Okay, we have to walk on the middle way. Otherwise, we'll be tilted to either extremes, to either side, which will not lead us to the final goal of our spiritual cultivation. So it further explains that all phenomena seem to exist in dualities, but these phenomena are not absolute. Only the middle way can offer transcendence. Now, we come across a very important keyword, transcendence. So what is that? Transcendence is to go beyond. And we know that every one of us, we have the limit of our strengths. Say, for example, in climbing a mountain, just like what we see in this picture, that we may feel that we can never go to our final goal on the top of the mountain. Okay? But if you try hard, or if you take a break in the middle way, then you can sum up more energy, which will enable us to go further and reach our goal. So in practicing the Buddha Dharma, it is in a similar situation. Sometimes we feel frustrated. Sometimes we feel that we need a break. And so we can either take a break or sometimes with the help of others, and we can continue to walk on the path, and eventually that we can go beyond our limit. And so Master Huinen also had a similar teaching that if we want to have a carefree life, meaning a life without suffering, then we have to face the dualistic phenomena of the world. And when we face it, we try to understand these dualistic phenomena and go beyond that, transcend it. And by doing that, we hopefully would transcend the self, our ego, and then eventually will transcend the duality. So first of all, that we have to face it, to understand it. Okay? And then by practicing the way, we have to go beyond the self and go beyond the phenomena of the dualistic world. And each extreme, so when we say that the 36 pairs, it is that they are stand on the two ends of one line. So this is extreme, say, for example, short and long. And each extreme is the cause for the other extreme, meaning that if there is no concept of long, then there will be no concept of short. Okay? So they exist. They are the mutual causes of each other. And in this summer in Texas, where I live, the summer is super hot. Almost every day is in 3 digitals. And so in comparison with those who are living further north, then maybe the weathers are of lower temperature. Okay? And for me, living in Texas, this is super hot. Okay, this is going to one extreme of the temperature, the weather, and the other side, very cold. That is another extreme. So when I say living in Texas is very hot in summer, meaning that there is a comparison of something somewhere very cold in the other extreme somewhere, so that I can say that Texas is very hot in summer. Okay, so that is the reason, that is the explanation of both extremes are mutual causes. Okay? And the Buddha realizes that neither suffering nor happiness are causes that lead to the way. Okay, excuse me. Meaning that we have to avoid extremes. The extremes are not leading us to the middle way. The Buddha's teaching is that we have to practice the middle path. And so in the Buddha's teaching, it says that there is suffering. And by saying that, it also tells us that there is happiness. However, in practice, the Buddha says, and the Buddha realizes that neither suffering nor happiness are causes that lead to the way. So it means that though there is suffering in the world, dukkha, and there is also sukha, happiness in the world, that if we don't attach to these two extremes, okay, and we can walk on the path. So we have to embrace the middle path so that we don't go astray to the other two extremes, suffering and happiness. So this is the example of what is listed in the text about the 36 pairs. I didn't list all, just example. For example, light and darkness, yin and yang, old and young, and big and small, long and short, danger and safety. So that is the first subtitle that we come across in Master Xing Yun's commentary on the 36 pairs and the middle way. Okay. Now the second subtitles of this chapter is real and false, motion and stillness. This is very interesting. So we may ask why Master Huinan write a gatha about this real and false, motion and stillness. This gatha, Master Huinan wrote this. It was right before he passed away. So this is regarded as the very final stage of his life in realizing, in understanding the Dharma and in teaching the Dharma. So what he really wants his student to understand is that we have to get rid of the extremes of real and false, motion and stillness. And I think mainly it's because in those days, people, when they come to the meditation school or Chan school, they mean to just doing the sitting meditation. And this is what the first patriarch, Bodhidharma, when he arrived in mainland China, he didn't have a good affinity with the Emperor Wu of Liang Wuti. And so he went to the Shaolin Temple to sit in front of a rock for 9 years. So this has been a stereotype of what we think about the image of a student of the meditation school. And so Master Huainan wants to rebuilding the image of Tan. So he have a teaching on this gatha of real and false motion and stillness. So at the beginning, we have to define what is motion. So it refers to the motion of birth and death, coming and going. And stillness refers to nirvana, the Tathagata. Okay? So what is the motion of birth and death? Okay? We come to this world, and after this lifespan, one day we will die, pass away, and that is the motion of birth and death. It seems that we move from birth to death, and that we also have coming and going. So life is like that. So if we shorten the lifespan of a so-called life, in our one-day experience, we wake up in the morning, and that is birth. That is just like have a new life in that day. And when we go to sleep in the evening, lying down on the bed, so that can be referred to as death. So the motion of birth and death can be referring to the person's life in one day. And we can further shorten it as 1 hour or 1 minute or just 1 moment. So our life in whichever length of time concept, it's always coming and going. It's always in the process of birth and death. And what does it mean when Master Huineng says stillness? It refers to the final goal of our spiritual cultivation, that is nirvana. So in understanding nirvana, in the Heart Sutra, it will tell us it is no death, no birth, no death, okay? No purity, no impurity, no increase, no decrease. And we still don't understand what is nirvana, even though with the language describing that in this way. And so there is another definition of stillness, and that is tathagata. And what is tathagata? By the word itself, tata means thus, and gata can be referred to come and also go. So it means thus come and thus go. So put it in a modern English word, tathagata means come this way and go this way. Okay? And so in the defining stillness with the word, the tathagata, then it seems that it goes back to the definition of motion, coming and going. The difference is that when we say tathagata, we added thus come and thus gone. Right? So it is different, meaning that the enlightened one, the Buddha or the Tathagata, when everything arises or cease to be or coming and going, the fully enlightened one is not moved by all the phenomena in the world. And in that sense, we say that is stillness. So maybe with that interpretation, maybe you can understand what Master Huineng refers to as motion and stillness. So Master Xingyun give more examples in showing that in our daily life, there are people who can be in motion but cannot be still, meaning that this person has to move all the time, okay? And then they cannot stand still. And some people, okay, on the other hand, okay, they can be still but cannot be in motion. And we have come across both kinds of people in our daily life, and we know that is true even in modern days. So true Dharma has neither motion nor stillness, meaning that in talking about the truth in the teaching, there is no such thing as motion and no such thing as stillness. Or we can put it in the definition of the Tathagata, right? That we are saying coming, but we say that thus coming. We say going instead of just going. We say thus going. And that also tells us in our practice of meditation, we should not attach to the idea of just doing the sitting meditation. We have to balance our practice with walking meditation. So in a meditation retreat, say for example, a one-day meditation retreat, the meditation teacher would ask the student to stand up, to do walking, and then after walking, maybe standing meditation, and after standing meditation, again walking meditation, and then with a break, and all the participants will go back to their seats and doing sitting meditation. So in a one-day meditation retreat, we combine all different kinds of meditation in the one-day retreat. The reason is that what we have on these slides, because some people, they cannot stay in one movement, okay, for a long time. So we have to change the section of meditation in different way, different style, so that students can adjust their physical body and also adjust their mind too, so that they can be more focused on their meditation. And so here is a point that Master Xing, that our Master Xing give. And we all know that in Song Dynasty, there is a very famous scholar, Su Dongpo, and his good friend, a Buddhist friend, Chan Master FoGuangHuB. So one day, the scholar Su Dongpo wrote a poem, and he thinks that this poem fully expressed his spiritual cultivation. And what is that? Bowing, heaven within heaven, a light that illuminates the boundless universe. The 8 winds cannot move me, sitting mindfully upon the purple golden lotus. Okay. So he is very proud of himself in this kind of achievement. And he says that the 8 winds cannot move him. Right? The 8 winds means the worldly fame, worldly wealth, or maybe people teasing him, scolding him, or the gain and loss. In total, there are 8 kind of things that may have strong influence on an ordinary people. But at this time, this big star, the great scholar Su Dongpo, thinks that he no longer can be moved by all this. So he thinks that this is great, and so he wants to have affirmation from his Buddhist friend, Chan Master FoGuangHuB. Okay? So therefore, after he wrote this on the piece of paper, he sent an attendant to deliver that to Master FoGuangHuB, who lived on the other side of a river. And so by sending out this point to his friend, Su Dongpo thinks to himself, he says that to himself, that this is a very wonderful spiritual cultivation attainment for me. And my friend must have uh, praised me a lot, and then celebrating my spiritual cultivation. But on the contrary, when Chan Master FoGuangHuB received the point, he said nothing but pick up a pen, writing, so scratch, put a cross on the point on the piece of paper, and then write a word on it, and then send that the delivered person back. So when the scholar Su Dongpo received the piece of paper, he looked at it. It wrote thought, okay, and means that you're talking nonsense. So this is quite an insult to him. So therefore, he got very angry, and immediately he himself rowed a boat and then go to Chan Master FoGuangHuB. And so FoGuangHuB, it seems that he already know that the big scholar Su Dongpo will come to him. So he already waited for Su Dongpo at the shore of the river. And so Su Dongpo, upon seeing Chan Master FoGuangHuB, he becomes very angry and asks, why did you say that words, write that words on my point? And the Master FoGuangHuB says that, you said that the 8 winds cannot move you. See, I just wrote that word, thought, and then that already, because of that, you are moved, okay? You come all the way immediately to see me. So from this story, we know that Su Dongpo is not yet there. If you have to if you attend the status of your mental status of the 8 winds cannot move you, and that means you almost achieve the fully enlightenment, just like Shakyamuni Buddha. And so from the story also, Master Xingyun want to tell us that in our daily life, we constantly are living in under the influence of the 8 winds. Whenever someone saying something bad about us, then we feel sad. But when people clap their hands on our performance or giving us praises, then we are very happy, just like living in heaven. And so that is the ordinary people's experience. But Master Huineng, he wants us to go beyond that, okay? Because he sees all these 8 winds, people's praising us or people's scolding at us. He sees all this as phenomena that we ordinary people experience in this Saha world. And what he wants us to do is to go beyond. Okay, remember to transcend and not going to extremes. So in the story of Su Dongpo, the scholar, he really goes to the extreme of, on the one hand, at the beginning, very proud, thinking himself as not being moved by all the phenomena. And the other extreme that he experienced is upon seeing the word that is teasing him, and he no longer can stay in the balance of mind. Okay, and so that is extremes we try to avoid, and what we need to do is walk on the middle path. So this picture shows you see the monk that is Master Yin, and you see that big scholar standing on the boat that is the scholar Su Dongpo, very angry, coming to meet the Buddhist monk. Next, we come across another conversation between Master Huineng and the student Fada. And the background of Fada is that this monk has chosen the Lotus Sutra as his spiritual cultivation. So he recites the Lotus Sutra again and again, okay, day and night. So if you know Lotus Sutra, it is a voluminous sutra. It's many, many chapters. Well, sometimes if you do the morning chanting service, it takes almost 1 month. If you recite one chapter at a time to finish that. So this monk, Fada, has focused his time and energy in reciting the Lotus Sutra. The Lotus Sutra is regarded as the Mahayana Sutra, which tells the Bodhisattva spirit of helping others, of benefiting others. And so when he is very proud himself standing in front of Master Huineng, and this is what Master Huineng said to him. He says, the deluded mind is mastered by the lotus. The awakened mind mastered the lotus. Okay? Meaning that even though you recite the Lotus Sutra for hundreds and thousands of times, if you are still have an illusion, if you still cannot see the world clearly, if you still are clouded by the delusion of the dual phenomenon of the world, then it is not you who has hold master, who can have the fully understanding of the Lotus Sutra. On the other hand, it's the Lotus Sutra that is teaching you the Dharma and keeping on telling you that you are not yet there. You have to work hard. The next line is the awakened mind masters the lotus, meaning that if you realize the truth, if you can transcend the dual phenomena of the world, then you are regarded as an enlightened person, that you have an awakened mind. At that point, then you can master the Lotus Sutra, meaning that it is not the Lotus Sutra teaching you. On the contrary, it is you who master the essence of the teaching of the Lotus Sutra, and that you can teach what you have experienced in your mind, because what comes from you is really what you have enlightened. Okay, so you will not go astray. And in Srangama Sutra, so Srangama Sutra is also a very important sutra that has dealt with the meditation. So if you are interested in meditation, I would recommend you to read this sutra. In this sutra, it says that if one is able to master anything, he is the same as the Tathagata. Okay? Meaning, this is based on what is mentioned above the 2 lines. So if you are able to master the Lotus Sutra, okay, for example, in that context of Lotus Sutra, then you are just like the Tathagata, you are the Tathagata, meaning you have attained fully, you are fully enlightened. So it is very important that in here that Master Huineng emphasize a lot on our mind, that we have to see things clearly, to see things as they really are, not being deluded by the phenomena world, which is dualistic. Okay, so next, we're going to discuss about single form samadhi and single practice samadhi. In Chinese, it means 一行三昧, okay? 一向三昧 and 一行三昧. So what are these? So first of all, we want to know what is samadhi. Samadhi means perfect absorption, that you are fully absorbed in a state, a status of mind, and in perfect 100% in that state of mind. And you're upholding tranquility and right meditative concentration. And it is like that the mind settling on a single state or settling on a single place. That is a samadhi, sammei. And we have heard a lot about people talking about samadhi or sammodi in Chinese. So practicing Chan and awakening to the way depends on the mind, not on physical form. Okay? So it tells us that we should not be confined by the image of a person sitting, crossing the legs, closing the eyes, and regard that as meditation. So in practicing Chan, it really depends on the mind, not just the form. And so, Venerable Master Xing Yun says, it says that we can practice meditation while we are walking, while we are sitting, or while we are lying down, or even sleeping. And that tells why in FoGuangHuB monastery, if you go to the meditation retreat, then you will be taught that meditation is not only sitting on the cushion. And so we require that the meditation student to be mindful in walking, in sitting, in eating food, in washing hands, in talking, okay? So in whatever you do in your daily life, that can be regarded as your mindful meditation. And so emphasizing the function of the mind, that sort of lifting up the state of the mind in mindfulness as the master of all things, that everything, it comes from the mind. So all cultivation emphasizes understand the mind. And that is why in the meditation retreat, we're not only going to the meditation hall to do sitting meditation and say nothing. At the same time, we also offer lecturing, especially in the evening, that at least we want to give teachings to the student to let them understand what is the mind. If without understanding the mind, you just do sitting meditation, it is next to impossible that you cannot find what is what we say as the mindful or the concentration of the mind. And it is also very difficult to attain that concentration of the mind. So here it listed 4 kind of prerequisites to create yourself a psychological foundation to prepare to enter the calmness of the mind. So the first one is one must believe deeply in the law of cause and effect. That is very important. If we don't understand the law of cause and effect, then we will have doubt in a lot of things that happen nowadays. Why there is war in the world, why there is natural disasters, why some people suffer from poverty, why some people from the moment that they were born to the world, that they can enjoy the wealth, the riches, the materialistic things. Okay? And why some people are always being wronged by others. Okay? So we have to deeply understand the law of cause and effect so that when we meditate, we will not be moved by things that in appearance we think that is not fair. Second, one must strictly uphold the precepts. Precept is very important in almost all the religions. Why? It is precept that we can discipline ourselves in physically, in our behavior. If we can discipline ourselves, we will not have regret. So no regret in our mind, that would help us to concentrate, to be mindful in our meditation and also in our daily practices. Number 3, one must have firm faith. So after having disciplined ourselves, then sometimes we cannot to keep it for a long time. It is with the help of a firm faith that will help us to continue walk on the path. So faith is a very important strength, power to keep it going, working on the spiritual path. Number 4, one must have conviction to follow the path. So this is following number 3, then number 4 is natural. Okay, naturally it would happen. So these 4 things is very important to create ourselves a psychological foundation. So that is 一向三昧, and with that kind of preparation, then next we want to walk on the path that is the strength to carry out the Dharma, the teaching of the Buddha. Okay? And that is what we say the single practice samadhi, meaning that one is able to maintain a mind that is singularly pure in all places, whether one is walking, sitting, or lying down. Okay? So this is in our practice, we're still keeping in a status of absorption of our mind, okay, that's samadhi. So in Vimalakirti Sutra, it says that if you wish to attain the Pure Land, purify your mind. Whenever the mind is pure, the land is pure. So it is very important that we cultivate our mind. Excuse me. The change of the weather that hit me. I have sore throat. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is what is a quote from Vimalakirti Sutra. It says that if you wish to attain the Pure Land, then you have to purify your mind. So you see that the logic, okay, that you purify your mind, then you can attain the Pure Land. So the land is something concrete, solid, right? So if you want to live there, then you have to start from your mind. So whenever your mind is pure, then the land is also pure, meaning that with a pure mind, you can change your the way you perceive the world, the way you understand the world. And that is our my presentation today. I don't know whether you have any comment, feedback, or questions on my presentation today. Um, the homework. Okay, let me read the homework. So what is the relevance of humanistic Buddhism daily life chant and the 36 pairs mentioned in the Platform Sutra? And so we often come across that people ask us, so in FoGuangHuB, what kind of meditation technique you teach? And our reply is always, okay, we teach 人间生活禅 or 人间佛教生活禅. So what exactly is that? Then we say that everything we do, we experience in our daily life, that is Chan, that is our meditation. So people may still cannot get it. And so therefore, we continue to explain. And in this chapter, chapter 10, you can make use of what the text says, what Master Huineng says, or what Venerable Master Xingyun interpret Master Huineng's words in talking about the 36 pair, using that as examples to show that we are living in the phenomenal world of duality. So if we attach to the phenomenal world, meaning that we tend to go extremes, to two extremes, okay? And it is very important that we're not dragging to either extremes. And on the other hand, that we have to work on the middle path. Okay, so it depends on how you realize, understand the chapter 10 to be able to answer the questions. Okay, so this is my presentation. Any questions or comment? You need to say something, otherwise I don't have time to take a break. Okay. we only have a few students attend the class in real time. Okay, Ben? Yes, go ahead. Can you unmute yourself?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can you speak louder?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Th- Thank you, Venerable Georgie. Just oftentimes, we are when we are attached to um happiness, and then when the situation is it's not going the way that we want, and we want it to get away from it. Um, how is it? How can we have a pure mind despite the fact that we have all these uh, external circumstances? Thank you.
Okay. Okay, good question. Yeah. This is our ordinary people. We feel that way. Yeah. The teaching, the Buddha's teaching is one thing, but our uh, practical daily life experience is the other. Okay. So um, we we all want to have a happiness in our life, but just like Master Xing says, life is 50-50, suffering and happiness. So in one day, you experience both. And so how to keep a pure mind in that, meaning that you may experience 50%. It's very easy to do that. And another 50%, you are very down. But still, um, the teaching is telling you, hey, you have to keep a pure mind. So just like what in this the teaching, what it says that everything comes from the mind. And so even though we're living in this materialistic world, that what happened to us, uh, the person come to us that cause us suffering, say something bad about us, or natural disasters happened, the storm, the earthquake, or the the war occurs, and then the enemies are bombing our houses. So all these are not happiness; they are suffering. But how to keep our mind a pure mind, and that we really need a very strong mind, and that is why the what we say the four requisite is very important to build a strong psychological foundation. Okay? That we have to accept the law of cause and effect. Remember that? Okay, you understand this is the law of cause and effect, so you accept it. The suffering that we experience is the result of the cause, which we don't know. We don't know, therefore we suffer. But if we know, then we can accept it, right? So now, fully understand the law of cause and effect is not easy. So therefore, the second thing is that you have to discipline yourself with precepts. Okay, so even though we are in difficult situations, but people, they scold us. We are very unhappy, but we don't understand why that person scolded us. We make no fault. Okay, but in observing the precept, we will not talk back. We will not hurt that person. Okay, we discipline ourselves. That sort of give us pave the very strong, more stable status of mind. right? Because when you talk back, maybe that you again arouse, in yourself more suffering, right? And then following that, you have strong faith in the Buddha's teaching, that the Buddha told us everything is cause and effect, that everything comes from our mind, okay? And then that it is possible that we can build a pure land through our mind, okay? And then through the conviction, then we follow that path. So one by one, we need to build, we really need to prepare ourselves with that psychological foundation. And this is exactly what most of my students in the meditation class, what we are lacking of. And then so they keep on saying that they have a monkey mind, but they don't want to focus on what is the law of cause and effect. Sometimes they think that it's nonsense. So if you don't accept it, it's very difficult to see the phenomenal things that happen in the world with a balanced mind. Okay, that is my suggestion. You go back to the 4 requisites of a strong psychological foundation. Okay? You can also find that in the text. Okay. Thank
you, Venerable.
Any other questions? Vincent?
Yeah, I'm here. So I have one comment. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I have one comment and one question. My comment is that I appreciate your venerable explanation about Su Dongpo story on the duality, and so that's kind of it just kind of dawned on me when you said that it's really a duality, and so that's kind of my comment. And my question is that I understand Chan can be anywhere, but what exactly we should be doing, say when we are running with our mind? I mean, do we focus on what? On the sutra, on anything, or on the music we are listening, or what?
Okay, thank you for the question. Now, I remember that Master Xing Yun ever give a lecture entitled as 禅是一朵花. Okay, 禅 is a flower. So in that lecture, the content of the Master Xing Yun's lecture is emphasizing it is your mind, how you see the world. Okay, so if you have Chan, then the world you see is very beautiful, like a flower. Okay, it's like an art, like a painting, very beautiful. So he used the term Hua, flower. Chan is the flower. And we seldom in English, when you say meditation, okay, it's very difficult to relate meditation and flower. Okay, because for most of the Westerners in meditation, and that is either crossing your leg, you have that image of a person crossing your leg, close your eyes, and breathing in and breathing out, or counting your breaths. Okay, and very seldom we use. Now, when you meditate, you are a flower yourself, or you will see the beauty of the surroundings. So why did Master Xing Yun says that? He emphasized on if you have a beautiful mind, okay, if you see the world with a mind that you appreciate the world, and that is Chan. Okay, so when I teach the Buddhism, when it refers to the meditation school in China, I'd rather say Chan instead of Zen, instead of just meditation, because Chan, it is only Chan, the Chinese character, can bring us that that wondrous beauty of the nature of the world. And so when you say, when you are running, what should you do? Maybe you are listening to music, and then you want to follow the rhythm of the music while you are running, jogging, okay? And maybe you don't want to listen to the music, you just following your steps and silently counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 while you are jogging. Or maybe you are counting the number, okay, of the steps, or counting your breaths. So whichever you do, that is right. You can do whatever you do, okay, and whatever that can help you to be more concentrated, be more mindful, and then whatever that will make you feel happy to continue in doing running, jogging every day as your daily practice, that would be fine. Based on what I understand, Venerable Master Xingyin's teaching, I think he would say that you just do whatever you want, okay, and concentrate on what you are doing, one thing at a time. Don't think too much about others. Just do it. Just do the jogging, okay? And when you are so mindfully in doing that, you enjoy it, okay? And that is the beauty of Chan. Am I answering your question?
Yes, thank you, Venerable. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm coughing. I hope that next week I can recover from the coldness. It is because my AC is out of order, and whole night it's very cold. It's down to about 40 degrees something Fahrenheit. And without AC, it's kind of difficult to get through the night. But everything is fine now, so I'm recovering. And with the Chan, okay, we talk about Chan, the non-duality of the mind. I hope you have a good night and continue to study. We only have 1 week left, so I hope to see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank
you,
you.
Venerable.
Thank you, Venerable. Take care.